What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to continue our discussion for Revit 2024 structure design. So this time we're going to learn how to add concrete column. Okay, let's do this. So currently we are on the second floor. So what I want to do is I want to create a concrete column. I want to model a concrete column which starts from entry level 01 up to 02 floor. Okay, so we are going to do that. So here on my architecture tab, you can see here there's a column tool. So if you click that drop down arrow, you'll be able to see the two options that we will be using here. The two options that you can use to create your column. Obviously, the tool that we'll be using here is structural column. The shortcut for that is CL. Why? Because this is the one that adds a vertical load-bearing element to the building model. Because the other one, column architectural, it's just for the architectural side. So there's no load-bearing elements to it. So it's just for the aesthetics, so that they know how it looks like when they are doing their design. But if you are a structural engineer, so you need to use a structural column which has a load-bearing element to the building model. Okay, so another way is you can also type CL for the shortcut structural column, and you can also go to the structure tab. So as you can see, I don't have a structure tab here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select File and then look for Options, and then you look for User Interface. You click that, and then there's my structure tab. So I have unchecked that one because I'm not using that before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to uncheck the Systems tab. I don't use the Systems tab. I don't use the Systems tab. So I also don't use Architecture tab, but I want Structure tab. Okay, so I want to hide the Architecture tab and then the Systems tab here. I only want to use Structure tab. So I'll select here, OK. There you go. So there's my Structure tab. So here you can see the column. Okay, so if you go to the Structure tab, so you can see here your structural column. There's no option here for architectural column. Okay, so I'm going to select structural column. So let's click this one, and then you can check the properties here. You can click that one, and then you'll be able to see here the columns that is loaded in this project. So you have several columns. So you have concrete rectangular column, concrete round column with different sizes, and then you also have W wide flange column, and then the sizes here. So for this exercise, so I'll just use the default settings here. Okay, and another thing that you can do here is you can check the properties. You can check the type properties of the concrete round column 18 inches. You can click that one, and then you will see here the different parameters that you can specify here. You can put the identity data here, the keynote, model, manufacturer, whatever. Okay, I'll just select here OK. And then if you go to the multiple panel, you can see here there's a multiple panel. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select Add Grids. So I want to create structural columns at the intersections of selected grid lines. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And also, before I select that option, you can check your options bar here. So you have an option here like rotate after placement, and then you have here the height. So currently, my level here is set to 02 floor. So when I create my column, it will start on 02 floor, and then it will end to 03 floor level. Okay, so you can click that drop down arrow if you want, and then you can specify the level that you would like to use here to create your column. Okay, you can even select here an unconnected option here so that you can specify the height of your column. Okay, so but for this one, for now, I will be using 03 floor. But like what I have said earlier on my exercise, what I want to do is I want to create a column that will start entry level, it will end to 02 floor. So I'm going to show you how to do that, how to modify it. Of course, I can simply just go to entry level and then create the column. Okay, so that's very simple. But what if you already created that on 02 floor? So how are you going to modify that? So I'm going to show you how to do that in a few seconds. Okay, so I'm going to select multiple here, add grids. So let's click this one. All right. So the next thing that we'll be doing, we're going to select all the grids. Okay. So I'm gonna pick here. Hold your left click. All right. And then drag until you select all the grids, until it highlights. And then after that, you release your left click. There you go. And then as you can see, there's the preview of your columns, right? Okay, so there's the preview of your columns. Now, the next thing that I'm gonna do is select finish. And that's it. Very simple. Of course, you can do it one by one. You can pick on the intersection of grids. You can pick each one by one if you want. But this is how I want to do it. I want to select all of the grids and use at grid intersection option. Okay, so I'll select here columns. Finish. Click that one. There you go. And then I'm gonna select here modify. Okay, so there's now my column. And also, I don't need the columns here from, what grid is this one? 4? Grid 4. This is already outside the building. So I'm going to select all of this column here using window selection. And then I'm going to delete that. Or you can also press DE for the shortcut of delete, or press delete on your keyboard. Okay, so delete. There you go. Now, let's check this one out in the 3D view. So let's click default 3D view. There you go. So there's now my columns. Okay, so I can change here on my view control bar. I can change the detail level to medium, coarse, or fine. So coarse looks like that. Medium looks like that. Fine looks like that. Okay, so it doesn't really matter for the meantime. So usually I use my detail level when I go detailing view and also in Revit MEP. But for now, I'll just use here, fine. And for the visual style, I will be selecting here shaded view. There you go. So there's the shaded view. You can hold the middle button of your mouse and then hold the shift at the same time, and then you can move your mouse while holding it both, so you can orbit the model. Okay, so another tip, if you want to concentrate your orbiting in one element, you just click it. So let's say this one. So you can click that one, and then from there you can orbit. So hold the shift, hold the middle button, and then you can move your mouse. So as you can see, the concentration of the orbit is on that selected element. Okay, zoom out. So the next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the level height, because if I go to the south elevation or any of the elevation here, like south, double click. So as you can see here, it starts from 02 up to 03. So what I want that to be starting on 01 to 02. Okay, so let's check the 3D view. And then another way of selecting objects, because I want to select all the objects, of course you can use that selection, you can also use that selection, but you can also do this. Let's say I go to 02 floor, so I can click one of the column, right click, and then there's an option here, select all instances visible in view. Okay, this one is the option that I'm going to use. Click that. There you go. So it's now all selected. And then after that, let's check the properties of my concrete column. So you can see here the base level. So the base level is on 02 floor. So I'm gonna change that to 01 entry level. And then for the top level, instead of 03, I'll select 02. That's it. Okay. So you can also specify here the base offset or the top offset. I'm gonna show that to you later. So I'll just select here apply first. There you go. And then if I check the elevation again, click, and there you have it. So maybe I'll click one level here, and then I'll drag that so I can see it nicely. There you go. Click. Let me drag this. All right. Now, oops. I want to tidy up my model. There you go. Now, I'm going to select one of the column just to show you what's the base offset. Base offset is the offset on the base part, and then the top offset on the top part. So let's say from the entry level, I want my base offset to be like going down. So let's say I'm gonna type here minus, for example, 3 feet. So I'm gonna type -3, and then feet symbol, and then I apply. So as you can see, that's the base offset. Okay, and then you can also specify a positive base offset. So like from entry level, so I want to offset like 1 foot. So I'm gonna type here 1 foot, and then I apply. There you go. So there's the base offset, right? Okay, then I'll just put it 1 again. Now the other one here is I select. Let's check that one out in 3D. This one. The other one is top offset. Let's see that. Just orbit a little. Okay, so let's change the top offset to, let's say, 5 feet. 5, apply. There you go. Okay, you can also put negative. So -5, apply. There you go. Okay, so that's how you use your base offset and then top offset. So that's it for this simple exercise. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.